Going live. Okay, so let's put this one down there. Hello, welcome. Oh, I'm not sure. Am I live on that? Yeah, I think it's on live. Okay. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Forex Gym for another daily Forex analysis. Hello, Chris. We already got Chris in here. Good morning. So, welcome back to our another for the last day of this week for the daily Forex analysis. So, today, Friday, as we know it, it's a confession Friday. So we're gonna be coming back to that slightly later, not from the beginning when we got. And then if you're new, too big. All right, one second. Okay. Let me just minimize that. Better now? Alright. Let me just fight with this one for a minute. Right, that's better. Right? It's green. Okay. Yeah, I forgot to change the color so it looks better on the on the thing. Okay, so as I was saying, it's a live daily Forex analysis for today, Friday, and as well as it's a confession Friday, and also it is a non-farm payrolls day. So that's a big news gonna be out today on afternoon on the UK time. So that's quite a big news. So see how the market's going to be behaving. Earlier I was watching this one, the Japanese. Yeah, a few currencies already started to move around, and yeah, there's a few currencies they're moving around. So I think most of them, yeah, Euro Japanese yen. I was looking at this one earlier. USD Japanese yen started to climb as well. But as you know, I do pre-select 3 currencies. So I'm analyzing the same currencies as it was yesterday. So similar currencies, but as we know it, I do analyze other currencies depending on your request. So you can ask any questions or any currency you want me to analyze. You just pop it in the chat box and I will be returning to the chat box to answer questions and interact with you guys. So not to worry, this is not only just 3 currency analysis. And this session, as we have it in here, it lasts 1.5 hours. So Euro against Japanese yen gave me good profits. That's good, Chris. Euro Japanese yen, also USD Japan. I don't know. Does any of you go into what was it? Euro USD yesterday? I call it on Euro dollar yesterday on a semi-swing trade. I don't know if any of you go into with that trade. The price came right at the exact the entry level, and it just started flying higher. I think it was a buy trade on, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember what was the level yet, but I'm gonna come back to that on the Euro dollar. So yeah, that was a good movements we've seen yesterday on the Euro side. And yeah, we're seeing some good moves. Okay, so I'm going to start analyzing. So starting with the British pounds USD, cable, Euro USD, and USD Japanese yen. And any questions, just pop in the chat box, guys, and I'll be coming back to the chat to answer the questions or address any currency analysis. I do have my lovely assistant Emily here, so she will be helping me out and notifying me if I miss anything. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna jump into the British pounds USD. Let me get rid of that. Okay, Gbpusd. Let's go. Start with the daily time frame. Okay. Pound looking okay, not necessarily pound looking strong, but the dollar looking weak. So it's been going on for pretty good. So so far we are in a nice uptrend. The price already came and took out this daily high. So this daily resistance already has been taken out. Just marginally, yeah, just marginally has taken out. So this high is already higher than this one. I do think there's a good chance the price will have a follow through. But But the only thing is we have a non-farm payrolls day, so we don't need to forget that. But it doesn't mean that we can't trade on it as of the day trade potentials. There's gonna be some day trade opportunities, I believe, if we're gonna have a look at it, because non-farm payrolls comes out at 1:30 p.m. On UK time, so it is a good 5.5 hours away. So there's plenty of time to day trade, and certainly for scalp trading, there's plenty more opportunities. So certainly I'll be looking to go long on this one if it gives some opportunity. Just a matter of finding a target right now. So that's going to be the main point. There is a target on a daily time frame which is quite far away as of the day trade goes. So I do need to find the alternative in terms of that. Okay, so if I see any, let's go to daily. 27.56. This is quite far away, so that's 26.95. Certainly we can use that one. 26.95. We got these highs in here, so we can target that 26.90 around that level. Okay, so let's go to 4-hour time frame. Obviously, as I said, we are looking to go long, but it's just a question of where we're going to get on. So on the 4-hour time frames, it does looking good. We want a bit of a retracement because the trend is pretty strong. Even though it's on a resistance level, it's looking pretty strong towards upside. So it's definitely a good, to try on to get onto any potential for the retracements. Okay, so let's have a look. The solid 26.15. Yeah. I generally like to getting on a retracement, and ideally if it's a body, so body close. In this case, the body close will be down at this level, but because this is quite a bit distance, so that is about 26, around 26.10 area. We can also get onto this spike on the spikes, which is going to be at this level, but generally it's not as good as if we just choose to get onto the body. But consider that we have a nice momentum towards upside, that could be a nice choice. Okay, let's have a look at the in terms of the. So let's see, 26.30. If we take 26.30. 20 pips, so we're looking for a 26.90 as our target. 26.90, 26.30. Okay, so we can particularly favorite. Okay, this is on a think. Because as I mentioned, I do not like to get onto here, and for the now I would be getting onto this one. I don't like getting onto this level. It does not give a good area to put the stop loss, so that will be only concern. But certainly as of 126.12 is a good area to get onto the trade. Hopefully it's going to take not in this candle, but on the next hourly candle. I hope it's going to take a couple of candles before it comes down to this level. It has to be at least on the next candle, then I will be happy about that. But I don't want to see it coming down in this 1 hourly candle, because it's going to be too much momentum towards downside if it does that. So ideally it will do it in the next hour or 1 hour after that, but not in this hour. So as of the entry, we can get on to at 26.12. As of the stop loss is gonna go, let's have a look. We're gonna need about 20. We can go with a 20 pip stop loss. The target 26.90, that will be too steep. Let me see if I can use anything else, but British pounds USD, where is it? Okay. Gbpusd. Let me bring up my templates. Okay, so generally, because that one is the target I'm looking for is 126.90, and if we get onto, if the price comes down at 126.12, up until 90 is quite far away, so it might not get there before the non-farm before the non-farm payrolls is out. So that's why I would use, I want to use the one of the daily R, probably. Oh wow, daily R is even further away. Okay, now it's sitting on the daily R1. Okay, that's kind of suck. Okay, looks like we're not giving a choice in here because we got the weekly R3 in here, which is pretty close to that daily, one of the daily highs, which is at 126.90. So it's about in the same level. Yeah, it doesn't look particularly. Okay, so beautiful. Okay guys, so this is the case in here. So I do like the entry, as I said, down to here with the 20 pip stop loss is fine, but target is pretty much at 26.85 to 90 zone, which is quite far away, considering that we do have, first of all, it's Friday, and the second is a non-farm payrolls day, and we do have that key news out today, so it will affect the US dollar. Generally, it always moves the always have an effect on the currency pairs, especially on the, obviously on the US dollar. I think there was only one time that when it was a non-farm payrolls day, it did not really create any move. It just had a blip. I think one time out of the 3.5 years of trading, it did only once. So most of the times it does create some sort of volatility, and generally it's quite harsh. So if you get it right, then it's good, but we don't want to leave it to the chance for the, if we're gonna get lucky and the price gonna go in our favor. So we definitely don't want to do that, because that would be quite irresponsible to do. So we want to wait. We want to see before the moves happen. I mean, after the moves happen. So as of now, I would be 126.12, but this trade is gonna be under question. So depends how it's gonna do, because it's quite a tricky trade. I also mention it because I do see the potential for this trade. It's the only thing is that, as I mentioned, it's a non-farm payrolls day. So, oops. I'll see what it's done. So Gbpusd is towards a long. So type will be buy, but yeah, just approach it with caution. You can take the trade if it comes down, but if unlikely it's going to get to that the target, because target is quite far, and if it doesn't get to the target before the non-farm payrolls, the news is out, just close the trade if you want to take it. I'm gonna re-evaluate and see, and if I take this trade in here, depending how the price is gonna behave in the next hour or so, then I'll be closing this on a non-farm not on a prior before the non-farm payrolls, unless price moves significantly to my direction. So if it moves about 50 or 60 pips, then I will leave the position. But if it's, let's say it's only 20 pips away, the 20 pips away from the stop loss, then I will close the position. Even if you're sitting on a negative, it's still worth to close the trade rather than just leave it to the chance. Okay, let me write this one down. Target with buy, entry. So entry would be at 126.12. Stop loss is 20 pips. So 20 pips is the minimum. You can give it out bit wider stop loss if you like, because the target is quite far away. So it gives us 1, 2. So target is about we're looking for 80 pip gain on that one. So you can comfortably give it 40 pips if you like. But personally, I do like to have a higher risk reward. And target is at 126, 90 and 95. So this one has to retrace a bit more. I might start flying. Okay. But approach with caution. So here's for Japanese yen. So we got Khan, I think, or rather Khan. So he's asking US dollar, Japanese yen, please. Yeah, sure. I think I got that one is on my list as well. Yeah, USD Japanese yen. Okay, let's have a look at the USD Japanese yen. Let's see what we have on that one. I think that will be all of them pretty much on the buy side. I think USD Japanese yen is no exception. Let's go to USD. Let's see what we have. Okay, so the price is climbing higher. It's coming to that trend line. I think that's a weekly and monthly trend line, more or less. It's a bit adjustment. Let me put this trend line in place first. Okay, better. That's a weekly time frame. Okay, it comes back to this same level. Okay. Yeah, this trend line is not particularly. Trend lines are not particularly very reliable because as we can see on the monthly time frame, it looks different. On the daily time frame, it looks completely different, and on the weekly time frames, it looks even way different. Okay, so let's forget about that. Let's go to daily time frame. The price is approaching on the key resistance. So I mean, we already have this resistance, but we do have this price action in here, which is also a very strong resistance. So I do see that the price can push a little bit higher. There we go to 109.60, around about 109.60. That would be a key resistance zone. So it's another 30, 109.60, about 30 pips away. So I do see that pushing higher. Maybe we're going to go continue even higher, but for now, let's just concentrate what we have in front of us. Daily time frame looking strong. The 4-hour looking pretty strong as well. As of the candles goes, looking pretty good. Definitely towards upside. But again, we do want the retracement. This one looking better setup on here. So ideally, the price will come down to this level. So 109.21 zone. So down at this level. So that one looking. Let's see. Yeah, 109.21, 109.20. So that would be the entry level as of the okay. The stop loss is okay. So we need about 20 pips stop loss. 20 pips stop loss. The target is at 109.60. So we're looking for a 1 to 2 risk reward on that. It's pretty good. Yeah. That sounds good. That's good. Oops. Okay, so the entry is going to be down at this level. The stop loss we're going to position down at. Oops, excuse my drawing. Stop loss is going to be down at this level, and the target is at 109.60 zone. 109.60. So that will be decent. Yeah, we need a 20 pip stop loss at the revenue, so we can't really strike it that much. Okay, so this one looking decent as well. Yeah, 60 is a good area target. Okay, but obviously we need retracement. So it's about 15 pip retracement. We can see that the price already came down to this level. It didn't quite get to down to this level, but maybe in the next hour or two it will manage to come down to this level where we can take the entry towards upside, and there again stop loss is going to be down at this level. If you want to be more adventurous, then you can position your stop losses a bit further up, but then obviously the price can come down to this level and test this low before it continues towards upside. I think that's how it looks like at the moment, because it does look in pretty strong momentum towards upside. Okay, I'm going to write these levels on the chart box. So Usdjpy will be type by type by entry. Entry is at 109. 20 or 21. It's about 20 or 21. Again, it does not have to be the right exact level. So if the price comes down at 109.19, that's still pretty much, so don't take like the exact word to word. So it can differ a couple of pips. It's not the end of the world. Like a couple of pips, I mean like 2-3 pips is not a big yeah, it can differ, so it's not always get to the right exact level. Sometimes it comes down at the very close, maybe a 1 or 2 pips difference. 109.21 would be good on this one as well, because it's pretty close to that level. So it could be 109.21, so it's not the end of the world if you're going to take it at 109.21. Okay, so entry, the stop loss will be 20 pips at the very minimum, and the target we are looking at 109.60, so that will be on a buy order on the USD Japanese yen. The only, let's see if can be an exception on that. Let me see this one thing first. Again, for time frame, it's not going to close yet. Okay, the only exception would be if price starts to do that. Then if the price starting to do that, I'm most likely going to wait to down at this level. Yeah, for the entry down at this level. So if price starting to go like that, as I mentioned, and then starts coming down, probably wait down at this level, because when the price generally starts doing messing around at the same level, and then starts coming down, it generally goes further than some sort of more stronger, in this case, support level. So I mean, this is stock support level, but this one is I would say stronger because it's more price action going on at this level, and it's 1 hourly low. So let's see what's gonna happen on that. Okay, so this is USD Japanese yen, and let's jump into the euro dollar. Let's see what we've got on the euro dollar. Euro USD. Let's see what we got. It's definitely on a buy as well. Yeah, I did call this trade yesterday. Yesterday on a live analysis. So in here yesterday at around whatever the time it was, early in the morning. I did call it at 11.95. So if I don't know if has anyone took the trade yesterday on the 111.95. I called the trade on the swing trades. We can see that the price got pretty much right at the level. So down at this level. Just wondering if anyone managed to take this trade. The target was somewhere up to, I think it was 100 pip target, so it's somewhere down about this level, 112.95. But we can see that the price continued to go higher, and I do think it will push even further up. So let me know if you managed to take this trade. This will be nice to know. And yeah, looks like the price continues to push even higher, and the next potential for the resistance that will be at 113. Oh no, it's sitting on tested on 113.60. So tested 113.60. Where the heck? So it's most likely gonna be going up to this level now, 114. Well, let's see if there is anything else. 114.30. Yeah, they're all a bit far away. This one is more of a, again, another semi-swing, but the only problem, again, the alpha payrolls day. Yeah, 114.30 is a strong resistance, and it's ideal, pretty much ideal target. 114.30. Again, this is a semi-swing. I do not think. Let me see if I can see any. Maybe there's any potential for the day trade. Okay, this hourly has not been tested actually. 11400. It's still far away now. It's 40 pips away. 11400. Okay, let me see if there's any day trade potential as of the shorter term trades. That's looking good. Let's go to 1 hour time frame. Okay, so this one looks interesting. On 13.48. Ooh, okay, now it's too. Stop loss gonna be too far. 40, so the 50. If we're gonna go at so 50 pips with a 25 pip stop loss, quite tight as well. Yeah, it's similar to the which one was it? I think USD Japanese yen, if I'm not mistaken. Similar to this one. So the price coming down, and it can. So this one is potential for the entry. These two highs in here, but the with the stop losses, I do want to position my stop loss down at this level. But if we're gonna do that, then as of the risk reward, it's not gonna be good. So that's the that's kind of concern about it, because we're gonna because I want to run it somewhere closer, which is the next closest target. That's daily high, which is at 114, around 11400. So that's the case. Or we can wait if the price pushes further down. Okay, it looks like the way is coming down, and might push further down. But on the 4 hour time frame, we are seeing this 4 hour candle, but this 4 hour candle is not going to close for the next couple of hours, so the price can push all the way up, and it can close as a full body candle. So this is not finished yet. Now I'll probably give it a bit more space. Okay, let's go back to this one. Euro dollar. Maybe we can use something like any pivots. Maybe we can use if there is not been. Okay, same level, 11400. Okay, so this is daily. Our weekly is even further away, and okay, tested the monthly R2. Damn it. Okay, it doesn't really give much of a. Okay, we have a daily pivot down here, but it's too far away, so that's fine. Yeah, 11400 is gonna be the. I don't see any other potential targets that I can target. It's 11400. Again, it is quite far away, and it's unlikely we'll get there before the non-farm payrolls is out. So again, approach with caution. Let's say that way. If the price manages to come down to 11330, which is down at this level, it has to come down in 2 candles though. I don't want to see that coming down to in this hourly. So ideally we come down in the next hour. So let's say if it comes down in the next hour or 1 hour after that down to this level, then I will be taking a trade at that level. 11330. The stop loss gonna be at likely 25 pips. So 25 pips, we're going to position our stop losses down at this level, and 11400 is going to be our target. So we're looking for the 70 pips on that one. I know it's quite steep for the not really on the day trade. It's more like a semi swing, day trade to semi swing. But keep in mind that you don't have your trades on before the non-farm payrolls news is released, unless the price already, let's say, if the price came down at this the level at 113.30 and the price went all the way up to, let's say, 113.80, then that will be a decent amount of wide enough gap for the non-farm payrolls to even if it reacts quickly and it goes against you, then the stop is wide enough that you don't suffer the slippage, unless it's gonna go crazy. I don't know, but it's obviously up on your own risk. I would personally close the trade, especially if it's gonna be too close to my my target. Then I would prefer that's my personal preference. But let's see if what the price are gonna do at this time. But as I said, 113.30 the entry, 25 pips stop loss, and the target is at call it 113.97 or 98, depending on your what spread you paying to your broker. So keep that in mind as well. Just because it's a round number and there's going to be a lot of trades on that level, so just in case, keep away from about 2-3 pips away from the target. And yeah, non-farm payrolls again, don't forget that. So Euro, USD, let's see, type would be again buy. And one more thing, please guys, don't take if for some miracle reason all these trades gonna set up, don't take all of them, because you will be exposing the risk, and they are pretty much all on US dollar. Yeah, all of them are USD pairs, so please don't take all of the pairs, all of these 3 trades if for some reason they all set up, because you will be exposing the big risk for yourself. So it's not going to be good. Just pick 1, maybe 2, like if you use, because let's say for instance British pounds and the euro dollar, they do have quite a high correlation, so don't take both of them. Maybe take, let's say, British pound USD and maybe USD Japanese yen, so they don't have a high correlation between them, the cable and US dollar Japanese yen, so that will be justifiable. But because of the non-farm payrolls and both of them are USD pairs, we need to be cautious, because non-farm payrolls can move, you can move pretty much 100 pips in a split second, so just keep that in mind, if not more. So I've seen it, I witnessed the on the non-farm payrolls, the price moved in a split second for like 100 pips. So yeah, and if you end up in the wrong side of the market, it's not gonna end up good for your account balance, especially if you use the leverage. Type will be buy, entry. Oh, I misspelled the entry. Entry. So entry. Oops. So entry would be on this one. On 113.30. The stop loss is 20. Oh, not 25. 25 pips. And the potential target, I'm going to write it at 113.97. So we want to be a bit away from that 11400, because we don't want it's a round number, so we don't want to keep it on that one. And yeah, as I said, it has to come down either, it can't come down in this hour. So if it comes down at this hour, on this hour, so it has still 25 minutes to go. If it comes down to this level at this hour, then I won't take the trade. So this will disqualify that trade, because that will be too much momentum if it's going to manage to come down to this level on this hour. However, next hour or 1 hour after that, that will be fine to take the trade down at this level, but the exception will be at this hour. Okay, so I did analyze all my 3 so far. Yeah, chart seems to be quiet as of today and yesterday for some reason. I don't know why. Is it? It's not really holidays, it's not bank holiday. Oh, news. Let's go to the news. We have USD Canada, so we got non-farm payrolls, and also on the US dollar Canadian side. Where's the post? Yeah, what is that? Ooh. Okay, that's weird. Forex Factory said we are closed. Let's see. Yeah, seems like something wrong with the Forex Factory. Can't open it. It's better get away. Let's give it a couple of, give it about a minute. Yeah, guys, we got about just under an hour, so if you got any questions or any other currencies you want me to have a look at it, just pop them in the chat box on your right hand side. So, and if you're new to this channel, don't be shy, say hello. We are interactive. I know it doesn't sound very interactive as of for the chat box. It's pretty quiet for today and yesterday. Yesterday was actually fairly quiet as well, but generally we are more active on the chat box. So if you're new, don't be shy, say hello, or if you've got any questions, yeah, just ask. It's not a problem as well, and no one's gonna criticize anyone, so we are all friendly in here. Okay, so with the news, finally we got open the Forex Factory in here. Let's go to the Fridays. Okay, we don't have anything else apart from the non-farm payrolls, and on the Canadian side as well, we do have unemployment rates. So on the both of the sides, and they are out at the same time. So at 1:30 p.m. UK time. So USD CAD is gonna be the most affected because we got the both big news out on the both currency pairs. So that will be an interesting one. See what's gonna happen on. Yeah, 1:30. So I will be monitoring these. But before that is nothing else out. So the only concern is at 1:30 p.m. the main news. So keep that in mind. Make sure you do not forget it. That there is a news out, and it's pretty significant news. So make sure you don't forget it when you put the trade on, especially if it's on a USD pair or it's a Canadian pair, because it will be affected on 1:30. So it will be interesting. Generally what happens, not always but sometimes, is on a morning session it might be sort of could be a volatility on next. So we are on the 8th UK session at the moment, so you just open the UK session, so it might be get busy, let's say up until 10 a.m. UK time, and then it starts, volatility might start die down. So keep that. It could happen, generally it does on a non-farm payrolls day, and especially on Friday. So it does happens that on the morning time it could be we're gonna see the more volatility, but then it's slightly dies down. So you need to kind of sort of limit your trades. So on average day, if you take, let's say, I don't know, let's say 4 trades as an example, maybe you want to limit it to 1 trade or maybe 2 max, because you don't want to be stuck in a trades and you're going to be sitting and it's going to start chopping around, which does on Fridays, and especially if it's a non-farm payroll day, because after that everyone's gonna be waiting for that non-farm payroll news to be out. So keep that in mind as well. Important. Thomas, hello Thomas. Thomas asking British pound, Canadian dollar, please. Okay, sure. I'm gonna have a look at the GBP CAD. Let's see what we have on the GBP CAD. Let's go to the daily time frame. GBP CADs. Okay. Okay, pushing higher. The British pounds. Yeah, British pounds seems to be strong. Okay, we got this resistance zone, but it's been tested. So we have this resistance area. Strong resistance, but it's been tested already so many times. So, and the way the price is looking, it is fairly picking up the momentum towards upside. Let's go to 4-hour time frame. Yeah, it looks pretty good on a 4-hour time frame. We have, okay, not broken yet, but looks like this orange band looks like the price will break. But we're not gonna know that until this 4-hour candle is closed. But so far it does looking pretty strong. Okay, so we have this 70.98 zone. It could be used as a potential for the targets and maybe even further up. 1798. Okay, let me see on a 1 hourly time frame. This one looks like a good potential for the day trade. Okay, the price of course did that. Let me see. So I'm looking for the entry right now. What could be a potential entry? Looks like the price already did its retracement. $70.45. 20 pips over 70.45. So if you get into 70.45, yeah, looks like price did its retracement. Just if you look at this tail in here, this wick, the price already sort of did its retracement. So that was, I was actually hoping to, if the price will come down down at the 70.45 zone, which is we got these spikes as well as there is a lows down to this level, so that would be a good, will be a decent area to get on. So we got this lows as well as this low down here, and stop loss is going to be down about this level. So it only requires 20 pips stop loss, but I do not think, yeah, I do not think it will have the retracement, because it's already sort of blitzed down. It did not quite get to the 45, but it did have its retracement. So it might not give us the opportunity for the retracement, for another retracement in here. So we might just end up missing. I see the first potential target, which is at 117.98. Which is on a 4 hourly high, so that would be a first sort of target. It has a potential to go even higher, but because we have a news out on 1:30 p.m. UK time on the Canadian side as well as US side, then it can create a volatility. So you don't want to be in the trade on before that news is out, unless your stop loss is wide enough. But 20 pips is certainly not wide enough. So let's see what it might come down. I do not know, but unlikely it's going to happen in the next 17 minutes. So if it comes down down to this level, the only thing I don't want to see is a indecision candle in here. So if it puts like the doji or something like a long tails, what we're seeing at the moment, then it will be a bit trickier now. So yeah, this is more like on a developing side. The only exception will be if it comes down at 170.45 in this hour, then we can justify taking the trade. But for now, what I see, I don't think it will do it. So yeah, I can't really mention any levels apart from that. But as I said, I don't see that one happening. Yeah, it looks like the price is pushing higher, so I don't think, well, yeah, it's pushing higher. I already doubt it's going to have a retracement. Yeah, it's already pushing down, pushing up and down. Yeah, I would say this is more observation, unless you just jump into the trade, which I would not recommend. But yeah, it's certainly looking pretty nice towards upside. Yeah, this is more of an observation for now. If it does sort of, probably gonna take a couple of the next few hours before it's gonna reset again to for the new setup, and probably by that time it's gonna be already non-for-payrolls news very close at that time. So for now, I would look at this for the next 15 minutes if it comes down at this level. And if it doesn't do that, then probably leave it. Yeah, probably leave it alone, because for now it does not yeah, sort of waiting list and see if it's gonna set up in the next couple of hours, and then we're gonna see. Maybe after maybe after the news is out at 1:30. Depends how the price gonna react and where it's gonna go. Certainly, if it's gonna start flying higher, then I will be looking to get onto the longer side, and obviously the target's gonna be somewhere higher. So probably going to be on a daily time frame, but I can't really anticipate that yet because I do want to see when after the news is out how the price is going to react, and yeah, well, that's so I can't really mention any levels at the moment apart from the ones I mentioned. But as I said, I don't think it's gonna do. It's gonna come down to that 170.45 zone. So oops. Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so that's my view on the GBP CADs. Chris saying just got my day wages on the GU. GU, what's GU? Oh, British pounds? Okay, British pounds, USD. Oh, yeah, right, yeah. And Aussie against Japanese yen. How you think this is dead, but USD Canada is how you think? So how you think asking USD Canada? Okay, let's have a look at the USD Canada is gonna be the most affected on the news because we have the news out on the both sides. Okay, let's have a look at the USD CAD. Let's see what we got. CAD. Yeah, I wouldn't call it that. Okay, it was a bit quiet. Let's go to 4-hourly time frame. Yeah, okay. It looks like it's continuing to join the trend towards downside. Yeah, I didn't miss that trade, did I? Okay, actually, when the price does this sort of moves, we can see it in here. For instance, the price came down and we chopped around, and price came down and we chopped around, and now it looks like for now that it's most likely going to continue towards a downside. When the price does this kind of moves, generally depends on the trend, but in this case it's pretty strong. So in this case, generally this is a pretty much one of the best setups you can take, and I will tell you the reason why. So when it has this strong move towards downside, so in this case towards downside, and then we went to this range bound. So this is that means that the volatility is low, and which means that we can allow ourselves to have a very tight stop loss, and that gives us the crazy good risk reward. So in this case would be okay. This is not as good setup, I would say, but certainly in here. But I did no, I did not take this trade out. But certainly in here, because if you would have right in here, if you can get it to 35, 32. Oh no, I take my words back because it's quite wide actually. That stop loss is. We need to see it. Yeah, this one is quite wide. As of the stop loss is it's going to be less than that, but it's actually quite a wide stop loss this one requires. But generally, when the price does that sort of moves, and we're putting this this sort of chop, when it has a strong move and it goes to the range bound for some time, that's the best place to take the trade towards to the trend side, because we can get to the we can have a tight stop loss, and the risk is very small compared to the rewards. Generally, not all the time, but generally depending on the pair. Like in this case, it does require a wide stop loss, but there are good opportunities to trade. As of for now, how we're gonna go about it to trade these it looks like it's breaking sort of this range level, but this is only on 4 hour time frame, and this 4 hour candle is not closed yet. So let's go to 1 hour time frame. Yeah, it's pretty flat as of now. It does not. Yeah, we got this. Yeah, we are on a range bound in here, and we can't really. Yeah, if we don't take the trade, it will be most likely after this level, but I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening unless the price does some crazy moves and joins the trend towards downside. But for now, I would say this is untradeable. It's pretty flat, and there's not really much going on the USD cards. Most likely they all the traders, they're waiting for that non-farm payroll news and also the unemployment change on the Canadian side. So they were waiting for that key news to be out at 1:30, and yeah, after that it would be moving, I would yeah. So this is gonna be the most affected. So yeah, this is untradeable for now. So probably wait for the 1:30 p.m. UK time. After that news is out, then you can. Then I think that it's going to create more trade opportunities after that news is out. But for now, it's pretty flat, so no trades on that. Okay, so who else we got? Oisin. So Oisin asking USD Swiss franc. Okay, let's have a look at the USD Swiss franc. Chris, I think it's a risky trade. Yeah, Chris, you don't like the Swiss franc though so much, do you? Swiss francs, yeah, Swiss francs can be tricky ones sometimes. So USD CHF. Let's go have a look at the USD Swiss franc, see what we have. Oh, I don't like the look of the on the daily time frame, so. Okay. Yeah, on the daily time frames, it does looking good. Right, this is. Oh. Okay, just realized I've done something. Oh yeah, I just realized something because I remember I called this trade and I actually forgot about that. That's a swing. I think it was about a week ago I called this one on a swing trade. I just realized that because I didn't write it down, and I did end up missing out. If you I don't know if you followed me, I did call the trade on the I did call the trade if the price would have come up to this level. I think it was 96.40 zone where these lows are on the daily time frame. We can see that it did in here, but I did completely forget about this because I haven't write it down. Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes you think or you carried away with some other task, and if you don't write it down, then you will end up forgetting about the trade, even though if you think there's good potential setup or whatever it is. That's why it's important to write it down. So that's sort of cost me, should I say. It was a certainly good trade. But that doesn't mean that we're not gonna see any opportunities. Yeah, on a daily time frame, it does looking pretty good towards downside. And yesterday candle, we have this nice bearish candle. The price came down. Yeah, price came down pretty close to this level, but it didn't quite get there. And then now we are seeing the retracement. Generally, when the price does that, when the price sort of comes down to the lows, so say this could be acting as a low because this is a gap trade. So it was when this one closed in here, it gapped in here. So the close was down at this level. It's most likely was Friday, and then it opened on Sunday session up here, came down and went all the way up. Generally, price does likes to test around this level. So we've seen that the price came down pretty close. It air kissed it, and then the price is now in pullback mode. When generally the price does that and pulls back, which means that a lot of traders took the orders off before the price get down to this level. which means that on a retracement, I think there's going to be a lot of traders getting onto the short side, and there's a high chance the price will push. I would say at the minimum to take out this low, maybe get down to this down at this low. But this is more like a swing trade rather than a day trade. So let's have a look at what are the potentials. Let's go to the 4-hourly time frame. Okay, we are curving on a 4-hour time frame. Okay, I don't think. Let's go to 1 hour time frame. Okay, looking strong. Yeah, as of the day trades, I do not see any potential for the day trades because the way the price are constructed, I do not like it. And as of the entries, I don't see any good potential for the entry. And yeah, the stop losses I don't see put down. Yeah, as of the day trade, I don't really see a potential to trade this one today. But I do see a swing potential on here. I do see the swing potential on this one. Price has to push a little bit further up, maybe another 30 pips potentially. But I wouldn't take this one. I wouldn't take this swing trade yet. After that we get over with that non-farm payrolls day. So I need to wait for this 1:30 p.m. UK time. So, but I do see a swing potential on this one. As of the day trade goes, I don't see any day trades in here, especially from the news wise. So. Yeah, no levels at the moment, and as of the swings goes, I need to see after the news what the price is going to do after the news is out. So I can't match the levels on that. Okay, so that was for the Swiss rank one. So we got another half an hour. Ozin say thank you. Yeah, you're welcome, Ozin. Not a problem. Not a problem. Alright, guys, make sure to smash that like button, please. It does help my channel to support. So I do everything this for free, but I do appreciate if you just smash that like. So that's the only thing I would ask from you guys. So just make sure to smash the like. Chris is saying I gotta go out now. Looks out job. Okay, trade safe, chaps and ladies. Thank you, Chris. See you next week. Have a good weekend. So I hope to see you next week. Okay. So yeah. So we got the Confession Fridays, guys. So Confession Fridays, the ones who do not know, or if who are new in here. So we do this Confession Fridays, which started last week actually, and I do remember. So we do the Confession Fridays. So every Friday, so anything happened from the last Friday up until today. So we're gonna mention it. So what I mean by confession, anything with the trading related confessions, so nothing personal, just about the trading. So if you, let's say for instance, you took a trade, you know you should have not taken, or maybe you moved your stop losses, you know you should have not done that, or something you have not done, that it goes against your trading plan, or you took the trade, you know you should have not taken. That's the Confession Friday. So we're gonna mention that on the Confession Fridays. And one of the reasons, or that's the main reason why I want to start this Confession Fridays, is because it will help. I think it will help you for your mindset. So for instance, if you're looking for, let's say on Thursday, you want to take this trade, and you know you should not take this trade. Maybe something is not aligned with your setup or strategy. You will be hopefully thinking that you will be mentioning this one on tomorrow, so on the next day, on the Friday. So that will be sort of your confession. So it will hold you accountable for your trading setup. So you know, like, okay, this is I know I should have not taken this trade, even though it's looking good, but it's not quite aligned with my setup or the strategy. So that will be good for your accountability speak on the Friday. So that's why I started with this Confession Friday. So if you did something, let's say for this between last Friday to this Friday, you're gonna be mentioning in here. So what I'm gonna go first. So what I did, I think it was last can't remember. I think it was last Friday, if I'm not mistaken, or the beginning of this week. I can't remember. I put a limit order on one of the currency pairs. I can't remember which currency pair it was. I think it was USD. No, Euro against Japanese yen, if I'm not mistaken. So I put the limit order, and I put the expiration on the expiration, so it's not a good till cancel, but it was the specific the hour to be cancelled. But I did I put the wrong hour on it. So yeah, I thought when I looked at the charts, I look at on the trading view. So I don't trade from the trading view. I just use it for to analyze the currency pairs, but I don't trade off of the trading view because I know a lot of you guys using the trading view. I just use it for, it would be easier for you guys to have a look at it. So I did have a look at on the trading view, and obviously I don't have orders on the trading view. I have it on the MT4. That's what I'm using. And I had a look at it, so I was like, okay, it didn't work out, but I do have the in my mind that okay, I do have that the expiration, so it will close the trade automatically. So I didn't really have a look at that trade, and I didn't really had a thought about this. So and then on the later that day or later in the evening, I only find out when I went to my history one, and it turns out the trade did not close, and obviously market came down and triggered my order. And luckily I did have a stop loss on, so I only took a small loss. Yeah, so that would be my confession. I put the wrong hour. And it did cost me money. So that will be my confession on that. So if you guys got any confession, just mention it in the chat box. It's just for you guys to keep you accountable. I think over the long run, if you start doing it now, it will be good for you need to hold yourself accountable when you take the trade. Because over the long run, it will help you with your mindset. It's very important. So mindset is the main one. That's the main struggle when it comes to the trading. So it doesn't matter how good is your strategy, how high win rate is your strategy, or whatever the fancy strategy you have or setup you're using. If you don't have the mindset, if you're not developing your trader mindset, that's amazing strategy will not make you money. It's simple as that. Doesn't matter whoever is going to telling you different, otherwise it's probably going to be selling you something, or they want some money out of from you. So the mindset is the biggest one. So yeah, okay, so I don't see any more questions or any no interactions yet, so I will wait for now. I did mention everything. So yeah, if you guys get any confessions on it, please mention it in the chat box. Don't worry about, no one's gonna judge anyone or anything like that. So we are here to help each other and to improve our trading game. So I think I have quite a few currencies. So far we've got Gbpusd for the level, Eurusd. Let me just go to Eurusd. Okay. Go to formerly. Okay, formerly looking. Tens. This is gonna close in 1 hour. So 30. Yeah, that will be interesting. I was gonna do in this hour the euro dollar. Okay. Yeah, getting quiet today as well. Quiet today. Generally, beginning of the week is more active, and it kind of starts getting quiet for some reason. What else? So no one has a confession. Can't believe that. Can't believe no one has a confession. confessions. Normally, and there's always one confession. Unless, even if you're like experienced trader, like I've been trading for 3.5 years, I do tend, not very often, but I do tend to make some sort of mistake at some point. Amraj says hi, hello. Do excuse me if I pronounce your name incorrectly. What about USD Japanese yen? I did analyze USD Japanese yen, so you missed out a bit, but you can always go back and analyze. As of the USD Japanese yen, yeah, I put the levels already on the screen up here. So if you scroll up a bit, I do have it in here. So USD Japanese yen as of it's on a buy side, and the entry is at 109.20. Which one was that? USD JPY. Yeah, it's the JPY. Yes, it's still in play yet, so you have not missed out on that one. It's still, if the price gives us the opportunity to come down at 109.20, we're gonna see. So that is the potential for the entry at that level. And the stop loss is at 20 pips on that. GJ, I sold. Oh, okay. What about Usdjpy? I sold at 109.26. Oh, so you shorted the Japanese yen. What was that? Sold at 109.26. 109.26. What is your potential target? What target you aiming for? So if you shorted it at 109.26, where is your potential target where you want to take your profits off? Because for now, looking at this pair the momentum is very strong towards upside. So I will not personally I wouldn't short this pair yet, because it's very strong. If you look at this, this is the daily time frame. If you look at this daily time frame, the candles are pretty strong. Even though it came up to the resistance level, I do think it will have enough volume to push all the way up to at least, at the very minimum, 109.60, and maybe even continue further. I don't know, but I do see the potential for this one to push even further up to this, at least to 109.60, and maybe even break higher. Just keep in mind that we do have a very significant news out today. So on the US side. Okay, so when I saw Franklin is asking GJ, you mean probably British pounds, Japanese yen. So the target is at 109.14. Okay, 109.14. Oops. Let me see. Okay, so 109.14. So you enter at 26, target is at 109.14. So about 12 pips, 26. Okay. Do you use stop loss? That's the one question. It's as of the target wise, it's looking pretty decent. The target is fine down at this level. 109.14 is so down at this 1 hourly low down here. There's nothing wrong with the target. It's just because we have a very good momentum towards upside. So I will not rush into. I will not personally short this pair because it's pretty strong towards upside. That doesn't mean that it's not going to have a retracement. I do see that it can have a retracement, as I call it, the trade to buy on a 109.20, and the stop loss is down at this level, so the price can come down to could come down to this level and even go further down to this level, but I will not. Yeah, this is probably the furthest I would see this one going down at this level. So there's nothing wrong with the target. It's just the momentum is pretty strong towards upside. Okay, Franklin GJ. Yeah, Franklin, if you can specify what you mean by GJ's British pounds, Japanese yen, or do you mean something else on that? So 26. Yeah, that's decent. I would say 15. Yeah, let's see what it's gonna do. Yeah, just I want to make sure that when you take the trade, I would assume you are fairly new to trading. Obviously, just that's my assumptions. Make sure when you take the trade, you get your risk reward on a good side. So make sure you're gonna have that risk reward just by looking at the your entry and the target, which is down about 12 pips. If you would have used the stop loss, you would have already should have been stopped out. So make sure when you take this take the trade, you get the risk rewards on your side. So at the very minimum, 1 to 1.5 risk rewards on the case, because I know a lot of traders, especially new traders, they do not use the stop losses, but generally it does not end up very well over the long run. You might get away for a long time, but when something goes wrong and you're not using the stop losses, yeah, it will come and bite your account. So make sure, and once you use when you use stop losses, and after that you get the stop losses, make sure you got the risk rewards on your side. At the very minimum, 1 to 1.5. Ideally, you got 1 to 2 risk rewards. Okay, Franklin, yes, British pound, Japanese yen. Do you think it can push higher? Okay, let's have a look at the Gbp Japanese yen. Gbpy. That's one of my favorite currency pair. This one and euro against Aussie. Yeah, that's looking good. That's looking good. Okay, let's have a look at the weekly. See what we have on the weekly time frame. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I do think you have a good chance to push higher. Just by looking at this weekly candle, is very powerful, very strong towards upside, bullish, a very strong bullish candle. For now, it doesn't have even that much tail. We have the news out. I know it's on the US side, but it can have a mild impact on the British pounds. Might have, not always does, but it can have a sort of not the direct impact on a USD, but it can have an impact on that one. But so far, I do see this one pushing further up because it does looking very strong. Yeah, maybe, but it might have a retracement because generally the price, the currency market doesn't move just one direction. It will have. This one looks like actually good potential for the swing, but that will be on the next week, not this week. But yeah, it does looking pretty good, and I do think it will have the potential towards upside. Maybe from the next week it's gonna start retracing down, maybe, I don't know, somewhere down to this level before it continues to go higher. So this is gonna be on my watch list for the swing trades because it's looking pretty good. Let's see if we got any day trade opportunities on this one. Pretty strong. So you got on a 1 hour time frame. It's gone too far now. No, not at the moment. Yeah, but I certainly see Okay, Franklin is saying, I already hit my take profit, I sold, but I'm thinking of going back in. I wouldn't rush to go back in yet, though. If you already got the profits out, the price is testing at this resistance level. It might not hold it. It might push even higher, but ideally, I do see this one on a to retrace. Ideally, we'll have a retracement, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime. That will be for the next week. As of this swing trade, if the price like this level will be good for the swing trade. Especially the British pound, Japanese yen has a very wide pip range, so it moves a lot. So keep that in mind because it can cover like this pair does can easily cover like 250 to 350 pips in a day easily. It does move around, especially here on volatile market conditions, and for now we are seeing pretty much good volatility. I would personally wait for the retracement. Even for the day trades, I would wait for a bit more retracement, but that retracement is gonna be another probably 50 pips because it's still sitting on it's on a resistance zone, so I do think you will have some sort of a reaction. Maybe if it comes down at this level, potentially down at this level for the next couple of hours, there will be a good potential to take another long side. But as of the day trade is concerned, because we are on Friday and we also have the news out, that's one. And unless you're willing to roll it over the weekend, then you can go ahead and take the trade down at this level, but I don't think I would personally do that. So I'd rather wait for the next week, and also I don't want to see the close of the weekly candle. If it closes like this, I definitely will be looking for any excuse, any potential for the any excuse to get onto the long side, because that is looking very good, very bullish. So I do think that you will have a follow through. Maybe we are gonna see pushing all the way, maybe up to this, even up to this level, maybe. So this is quite a bold announcement, but it's just under question. But there is we could see the price pushing all the way up to this level, but it doesn't mean that the price is going to continue in one direction like this, because it does not happen. It can do something like this one, and after getting here, so it can take several weeks. Just to always to think that the price does not move in one direction. It does always up, down, up, down, up, down. It has always a retracement, and when it starts moving to one direction for the extended period of time, then you should get suspicious. The very good example would be S&P 500, and I was looking at this pretty much about 4 or 5 months before that coronavirus thing happened. I was looking at this, and I was thinking like, okay, there's something wrong. It's going too far up. And then we all know what happened to the S&P 500. It has a sharp drop after that coronavirus started to spiral up. So yeah, always suspicious when it's heading to when the price is doing one thing only. If it's heading either up or down for the extended period of time. So yeah. What's your opinion on trading oil? So you call it oil. I think for the oil we already missed. I would say missed. Let's go to the oil side. I would say US or crude oil. Let's go crude CFD. I'll go to US VTI. Okay. So we are recovering, but we still, as of this sentiment, is still towards the scarcity. So that's one thing to look at it. The sentiment is towards the scarcity. I know that we're seeing the recovery in here, so the price is going up, but it's something, because we are not clear with the coronavirus yet. It's still under question and all that. Even though it's looking to recover a bit, we are still on that. The sentiment is towards the scarcity. So I would personally wait wait and see if it's gonna get, if we're gonna clear with the coronavirus, or more info about the coronavirus. And once we, I don't know, we develop the vaccine or whatever this, whatever the government is going to decide to develop, then after that we might be looking to the looking to trade the oil. But for now, I would just sitting and waiting, see what's going to happen. For the supply demand, it's for now it's good. It's a recovering, but I don't know, I have a feeling that it's something's going to happen that you will affect, but that's just purely based on the experience of the prior experience. Because Russia spilled oil and the report is tomorrow, so I'm thinking of selling. Okay, so you wanna sell it before the news is out, right? So report is out. Personally, I will not advocate on that one, because the news can be not favorable towards your side. So it's same as for example, we have the non-farm payrolls day out today, so at 1:30, and in case if let's say you take the trade to buy because you were expecting that that news is gonna be out and it's gonna go to towards upside, but you can easily go to the other side. I would say this is more or less like a gambling, because you do not know that, so you just basically flipping the coin and then see if you're gonna get lucky, if it's gonna end up on your favorite side. So it's like a flipping the coin. So if I would personally wait, and then when the news out or the report out, depending where you are on the oil side, then you can jump in and sell it if it's gonna go favorable to your to the direction. But obviously tomorrow's Saturday, so I can't really trade on that one. It's yeah, if you're gonna sell it, then you might, the report might be unfavorable towards, it can go against your favor. So that's the one thing you need to keep in mind. If you're happy with that, then you can go ahead, but I personally would not do that. So just my perspective, but yeah, every trader is different. Yeah, that's my look on that. Didn't miss any of it. Okay. So we got only 8 minutes, so we are we're almost running out of time. Okay, so let's look. Forex, let's see what we have. Oops. Yeah, on the monthly side. Okay, I still got the hopes on the Ecuador. Okay, so I don't think we're gonna have time for analyzing any more currencies, because we are almost running out of time. So it's only 7 minutes before the time is out. But we're gonna have enough time. If you got any more questions, you can shoot them, and if not, then I'll give it a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna be signing out on that. Yeah, so if you guys are new, whoever new in here, I do this live stream Monday to Friday, 8 AM UK time, so 5 days a week. We are here, and I'm here, and we are analyzing. I have Emily, my lovely sister. She's behind the scene. She's keeping everything organized. So, but I do analysis and all that stuff for trading. So we are here 5 days a week, and each session is 1.5 hours where you can interact with me, ask questions, as well as request any other currency analysis. So consider subscribing, and I do a weekly forex analysis, which is a potential for the swing trades. Oh yeah, so most likely I will be analyzing British pounds, Japanese yen, because they're does looking pretty good. So I do that, the weekly forex analysis for the swing trades on the weekend. So generally it's out on Saturday, sometimes on Sunday, but it's more likely going to be on Saturday. And also on top of that, I do tips, any videos about tips, how to anything that will help you to improve your trading game. So Franklin says, thank you. You're welcome, Franklin. You trade live. I do, if I see the opportunity, if I see, for instance, whatever I analyze, for instance, if I see the trade is coming down to the level I set down at this level, if I set it, I will take the trade on live. So I've done it a few times on my live trading, that I took the trade on live while I was live trading. So yeah, I guess you can call it that as well. So if I see the opportunity, then I will take the trade on live, and you will be able to see it as well. So yes, yes, I do. For now, it's I'm waiting. So yeah. And yeah, I'm working on a Discord channel. Probably gonna be ready on the next week. I'm gonna be doing that on working on a Discord channel, because I've got so many things to do as well. It's not just YouTube as well as trading, and I'm still learning YouTube because I'm fairly new on YouTube. I've been on YouTube I've been uploading on YouTube for like 3 months, just over 3 months. I started before, but I was like all over the place, and then for the consistently uploading, I started only about 3 months ago. So I'm still learning, fairly new with YouTube as a content creator, if you call it. I've been using YouTube before, but as just like watching videos and stuff. So as a sort of a creator, I'm fairly new. So I'm still learning the platform and getting to know a lot of other things. So it's very interesting. So it does take us a lot of time as well. So that's why it's taking me quite a long time for the Discord channel to create, and I want to get that organized. So I don't want to just like create and leave it without attention. So the Discord channel is going to be coming fairly soon. Potentially for the next week. So I'm going to create the group chat, so it will be more sort of interactive, and will be more up to date, let's call it that way, because I do this live forex analysis where you can interact on that 1.5 hours, but once that 1.5 hours is done, then I'm not. So the live stream is done. Of course, you can comment it and all that. I answer every single comment, but it's still not as sort of up to date as the Discord channel will be. So that will be coming potentially for the next week for the Discord channel. So, and yeah, that will be free as well. Okay guys, so it's only a couple of minutes, so we're gonna be signing out on the live forex analysis, but don't worry, we are back on next week on a Monday. So we're gonna be back on another Daily Forex Analysis next week. And the Daily Forex Analysis, I call it Daily Forex Analysis, but it's not only Daily Forex Analysis, or not only day trades, but I do analyze if I see the potential for the semi-swing or swing trades. I do mention that on that Daily Forex Analysis. So it's not only a day trades, it's also semi-swings and swing trades as well. And yeah, I do analyze on my weekly Forex analysis on the weekend. So we'll be out tomorrow. I'm going to be analyzing different currencies and see if what are the potentials for the following week for this swing trading side. Okay guys, so we're going to be signing out, as I said before. Yeah, if you find this video helpful, please smash that like. I do everything, provide this live stream and all the other content for free, but the only thing I would ask is to smash that like. It really helps my channel to grow, and it means a lot, and it supports my channel immensely. So big thank you for that one. Thank you guys for your support, and also big thank you to my lovely assistant Emily. She's been helping me out a lot since the live stream. So every 5 days a week she's been helping me out on this live stream. So big thank you for that, her. And yeah guys, I will see you next week on Monday or 8 AM UK time. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Please don't forget, these are non-farm payrolls at 1:30 UK time, so make sure when you take the trade, you have that, keep in mind that you're not gonna stuck in that in the trade just before the non-farm payroll news is out. So keep that in mind, that's very important. So okay guys, have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week.